6.4 is what we're on today, and we are doing writing linear equations. All right, so our objectives are to write the equation of a line given its slope and y-intercept. It's actually really easy. Number 2 is to write the equation of a line given its slope and a point on the line. That one's a little bit harder. 3, write the equation of a line given 2 points on the line. That one's a little bit harder, but we have a formula to use. And 4, write the equation of a line given its graph. Not so hard. Okay, if you can find the slope and the y-intercept on your graph, you can write your equation very easily.
What does the x stand for?
X and y are your coordinates, your ordered pairs. So, that help? Okay, perfect. So, if your slope and your y-intercept are given, you simply substitute the values for the appropriate variables into y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we're going to substitute the values because it's coming from the slope and the y-intercept. So example 1, write the equation of the line with the slope of 2/3. What variable is that?
Y?
Nope, slope is not y. Not x. X and y are an ordered pair. Slope is always m. All right, so your m equals 2/3 and your y-intercept of 0, -5. So what's the variable for y-intercept? What's the variable? B. Okay, so here your b equals -5, where here your m equals the 2/3. So you have y equals mx plus b. What's your m? Okay, slope, which is 2/3. So you're going to put 2/3 in there. And what's your b? -5. So you're going to put -5 in there. If that's it. The only other thing that would be different is if you want to get rid of the plus and just make it minus. Okay, you can do y equals 2/3 x minus 5. It's the same difference. Okay, we don't generally use plus a negative anymore, like we've gotten used to being able to use those interchangeably. So either way you want to do it. But that's literally all you do when you have slope and the y-intercept. You just put them in the place they go. Woohoo! Pretty easy. All right. Then we're going to get a little bit harder. Okay, so slope and any other point given. When this happens, we substitute the slope and the point's coordinates, so the x and the y. Okay, so we're going to plug those into that y equals mx plus b form, and then we have to solve for the b to write the equation. So, number 2 says write the equation of the line passing through the point -5, 6 with a slope of -1/2. So I'm going to do the same thing I just had. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, what's my slope? 1/2. -1/2. Good. So that's my m, right? So I'm going to put in -1/2 x. Then I was given this point. Remember, our points are always x, comma, y. So I need to put in my x value. What's my x value? What was it? Okay, so it's instead of being mx, I'm going to have -1/2 times -5. What's my y value? 6. So I put the 6 there. So now my equation says 6 equals -1/2 times -5 plus b. This is where b is the only variable I have. I have to solve for my b. Okay, so let's start with that. Let's combine some or do some math here. What's -1/2 times -5? Okay, it'd be a positive 2.5, or would probably be better to leave it as 5/2. Okay, plus b. Or we could change it.
And then you're going to make us subtract
Go ahead, you're good.
5/2 from 6.
Okay, so subtract So good, we're going to subtract the 5 over 2, or the 2.5. So what is 6 minus 2.5? 3.5 equals 2.5 minus 2.5. Well, those equal 0, so I'm just going to cross them out. So 3.5 equals B.
That's pretty simple.
Well, did we write the equation, though? No.
We just found out what B was.
Great, we just found out what B was. So now we do need to write the equation. So what's our equation going to be? Y equals -1/2 x
Plus 3.5.
plus 3.5. Fantastic, yes! That's our equation. So we had to solve to find the B, but then once we had it, we had everything else for the equation. Perfect. All right, let's try B then together. So now we have a point -1 or 1, -6 with a slope of 0. Ooh, that's a fun one with a slope of 0. It's horizontal. It's going to be horizontal. Good.
But that doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
Or it
Can kind of.
It'll make the equation weird.
It'll make the equation weird. It's true. Okay, so let's think about where we're starting with. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so
I mean, we
Cheyenne, what's our slope? 0. Okay, our slope is 0. So I'm going to put 0 in there. All right, Cameron, what's our y?
1 or -6.
Which one?
1.
Nope. Our coordinates are always x, comma, y. So which one is our y? The -6. There you go. All right, Bailey DeFries, what's our x value? 1. Okay, so I'm going to put my 1 in there. Okay, it's always multiplication. So now I've got, if I simplify, -6 equals 0 times 1 is just 0. So -6 equals b. My b and my 6 look a lot alike there. My apologies. Okay, so -6 equals b. So what's my equation?
Y equals 0x plus 6.
Plus 6?
Plus -6.
Plus neg or -6. Okay. Can I simplify that anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah? What would it be?
Y equals -6.
Y equals -6. Good. All right, that's perfect. It's okay to have that slope. Like Chase said, it's going to make our equation look really funky. And it did indeed. Okay? It definitely did that. All right. We doing okay? Are you watching up here too? Are you watching on that screen? Okay, I was like, what are you looking at, man? All right. Then let's go to when we have 2 points on a line are given. This one's probably going to be the hardest. So when we have 2 points on the line, okay, the first thing we do is we're going to use the slope formula. You remember this, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay, we're going to use that to find the slope because we have 2 points. We have an x, y, and we have another x and y coordinate. We have 2 points. Okay, so we actually subtract those values to find the slope. Then we use the slope and the coordinates of either point. We're going to do the exact same thing we did up here, but we have to find the slope first. So it's going to have an extra step in it. And then we use the slope and the coordinates of either point to find b. Then we're going to insert these values into the slope-intercept form. Again, we're adding this one step. Step 1 is new. The rest is exactly what we did up here. Nothing different. Okay. So let's flip to the back and give it a try. All right, so he says, write the equation of the line passing through 1, 3, and 4, -2. So we have to find the slope first. So m equals our y values, the difference of our y values over the difference of our x values. Okay, So what is the first y value we want to use? 3. All right, perfect. So we're going to put a 3 in there. Come on. So we put a 3 in. Okay, so what's our second y value then? -2. So it's 3 minus -2. Just because the minus is already there does not mean we can disregard. Okay, good. So then what's our first x value have to be? 1. Why does it have to be 1? The y2 was on that one. We picked the 3 first, so we have to use the 1 first. We can't switch. Good, so the 3 and the 1 come from the same coordinate. Perfect explanation. All right, and then what's our x1 then? 4. All right, so what is 3 minus -2 equal? 5, because it's the same thing as plus a positive. So we've got 5 over, what's 1 minus 4? -3. So there's my slope. That was my new step. And actually, I'll just write this over here. It's 5 over -3 to save us some space. That was the new step. Was it terrible? No? Kind of knew how to do it already. We did it a few lessons ago. So we're bringing what we did a few lessons ago, and we're adding a little bit more complexity to it. Okay, so now to write the equation, we're going to do what we did earlier. Now we're ready. We have our slope. Okay, so this is our m, if we recall. So now we're ready to do y equals mx plus b. But we need to pick one point. Do we want the 1, 3 or the 4, -2? 1 and 3. You can pick either one. This one. Okay, I'm just going to say we could do 4 and -2, and I can do it with you if you want. I was going to say I would pick the 1 and 3 personally because I don't have to deal with the negatives. So it's going to make the math a little easier to just always have the positive there. Okay. All right, so we know our slope, we know our y, and we know our x because we're using this point to put in there. So what's my y? 3. The 3 equals, what's my slope? -5/3, right? Okay. My x is 1 plus b. Good. Then I'm set. So I'm going to solve for my b. It's still just the -5/3. Good. Right. Okay.
And then you're going to subtract. No, you're going to add 5/3 in 3.
We're going to add 5/3 to both sides because -5/3 plus 5/3 is just 0. Okay. 3 plus 5/3. 4 and 2/3. I'll take it. So 4 and 2/3 equals b. Now you got to write the whole equation. So y equals -5/3 x plus 4 and 2/3. Very nice. I like it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for b, only this time our points are 7, 4, and 7, 2. All right, so Connor, set up how we find the slope.
First you take out the from here, take this one, 4 from the first thing.
4 from the first thing? Okay. So our slope is going to equal 4.
And then fields 4 at P. 4, 7. 4 plus 7. I'm sorry, I can't tell if that was a T.
No. It helps if you would take notes. Because we have to use the formula. Slope equals the y values subtracted from each other and the x values subtracted from each other. So 4 is an x value or is a y value. What's the other y value? Connor.
2.
So 4 minus 2 over.
7 minus 7.
I don't know why you sound like you're mad at me. All right, so what is 4 minus 2? 2. And 7 minus 7? 0. Okay, so what, anybody can answer this one. How would we simplify that one? No.
No, it's 0.
No.
Wait a sec.
We had this conversation in our small group yesterday.
Undefined?
It's undefined. You cannot divide anything into 0 groups. If you have $2, you can't put it in 0 groups. It has to at least have 1. So this one is impossible. It is undefined. So our slope is undefined. Okay, good. And it's because the 0 is in the denominator. So what's that mean for our equation? No equation. If it's undefined, where should the line be? Vertical. Okay, undefined is a vertical line. All right. Okay, so then if we think about that, so we've got this undefined line, we have a vertical line. What's our line at? It's not at 0.
It's at 2.
It's at 7, 2, and 7, 4. Right, here's our line. But what was the distance from here to here? 7. And what distance is that? Is that my x or my y? So this equation would be x equals 7. That's it for that one. Because anywhere that x is 7 is where we'd put a point. 7, 2, 7, 4, 7, negative 25. Wherever x equals 7. Excellent. So we've dealt with no slope craziness and undefined line craziness. So those won't be shocking for you at home. All right, last one. The Planning Committee for the City of Brownsville used census data to project the growth of the city. Determine the estimated rate of growth and write the function rule describing this population estimate. So this is that last one, writing the equation of a line given its graph. Okay, that's what we're doing on this one, is can we write the equation given the graph? Or write the function rule is what they're saying. Okay, same difference. Okay, so how are we going to do that? You think you can figure out the slope pretty easily? Okay, how are we going to do that? 1,000 over 1. I had to pull.
It jumps from 2009 to 2011, and there's a year in between. So every dot is going over 1 year. And it looks like every year the population is increasing by 1,000. Estimated increase of 1,000.
Do you guys agree with that?
No. 500. Yeah, by 500,000.
Ooh, by 500,000. No, not 500,000, just 500? Okay, so what you said, you were kind of there. We're going up.
Oh, I see where I messed up.
Okay, so we are going up 1,000, and then what we're going over 2 years. Or in your case, if you were cutting it, yeah, it would be 5. So we have a population of 1,000. So a change, right? Because remember, slope is also the change of y, which you said was the change was 1,000, over the change in x was 2 years. Sorry, this should say change in x. So 1,000 divided by 2 is 500 over 1.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I see what I did.
Good. All right, so our slope is 500. What else do we need to write the equation? Not a coordinate, because we always leave it with the x and the y. We need to find the intercept. What's the intercept? Well, the intercept, we call it the what intercept? The x-intercept? The y-intercept. It's where it crosses or intersects the y-axis. Does it cross the y-axis where it starts? Yes. Okay, so wherever that point is on your y-axis, that is your B. So our B is what? 56,000?
2009.
Let's see. Yeah, that's where it started. We're looking at. So our B is 56,000. All right, so let's write our function rule. So we got y equals, what's M? 500. X plus, what's our B? 56,000. Stellar. Question.
Fine if I go use the bathroom.
We're not finished just yet with this problem. There were two parts. What's the second part? And then yes.
You have to find the
Oh,
slope.
you have to write a function rule.
We wrote the function rule.
Finding the estimated rate of growth.
Okay.
Determine the estimated rate of growth. Well, didn't we already do that too?
Yeah.
The estimated rate of growth was just the slope.
It's just the slope. Okay. So was there anything else to do?
Doesn't look like it. Describe it.
Because we have our equation,
Mm-hmm.
but and we have B, and we know the slope.
We wrote the function rule.
Yeah.
Describe the population.
But it says, and write the function rule describing the population. Like, do I expect it in words?
No,
Nope.
not really.
Mm-mm.
No, because it doesn't say, because it says write the function rule describing.
Mm-hmm.
But like if it said write out or like something like that.
All right. Very nice.
So that's it?
That's it. You're done.
Tricked Cameron.
I did.